And if it wasn't for me believing in myself and putting in those hours and just backing myself up 100%, I would not be in front of you guys today.
I love you like la 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 la.
Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to go through a walkthrough, but I do want to share with you a very, very interesting story. The reason that I started this 30-day challenge was to really put myself out there. I realized that I sit there thinking, how come nobody knows what it is that I'm doing? Why can't I just put up a website and people are gonna show up? And that's exactly it, is that unless you tell people and unless you say something and put it out there in the world, nobody knows what it is that you do. You can repeat it 100 times in your head, but nobody knows what it is that you do. So one of the things that I never tell people enough is my story about how I landed my first job, my first full-time job ever at Canva, right? And this is like one of the biggest design companies in the world right now. It is Australia's unicorn company. And I was 17 when I got that job. Completely, utterly mind blown. I didn't think that someone like me, coming from Canada, fresh out of school, would ever be hired at Canva. In today's video, I really want to share with you how I landed that job and how you can do the exact same thing. I'm not someone special. All I did was I persevered and I gave it everything I had. And that was the reason I got that job. So let's get right into it because I really want to share with you some tips that I learned along the way. And it's principles that I stand by every single day. So how did it all start? I heard about Canva about 6 or 7 years ago. When I first heard about Canva, I was probably 14. Yeah, I was 14 and they had just started. I was looking for internships on a website called angellist.co, and that's where a lot of tech companies that were starting out were looking for interns. And at this time, Canva was maybe like 20 people, and I clicked on the website and I thought, holy crap, they are trying to change the entire design world. They're gonna make a drag and drop design builder. That is literally unheard of, okay? So think back, in 2014, you had no tools. Canva didn't exist. All the Canva copycats didn't exist. All you could do was use Illustrator. And I don't even know if Sketch existed at that time. So it was like very, very hard. I already knew that I wanted to work for them. I had a massive affinity towards startups and I really, really wanted to work for Canva, but I didn't know how I would get that job. So what I did was I reached out to the email that was at the Angel List website for Canva, and I told them, hi, my name is Charlotte, I'm an engineering student and I would love to intern with you guys. I got back a reply very soon afterwards from Cliff, the founder, saying, oh, you're actually too young and we aren't looking for any internships right now because we're looking for someone that we can hire. I was very sad because I was sitting there thinking this is the only company that I want to work for. It's in Sydney, Australia. I've never been to Sydney. I thought, okay, what do I do? I'll just stay in touch. So, I said, all right, I'll make sure I stay in touch, and when I graduate, I'm going to be the first one there applying at your door because I really, really, really want to work for you. A few months later, I believe this is my 3rd year of university, I studied engineering, and a lot of what we do is we actually go and do exchanges. So I studied abroad in Singapore for 4 months. While I was there, I was going to a trip to the Philippines, to Manila. And Canva actually has an office in Manila. So once again, I slid into my emails and I messaged them and I said, hey, is there any chance you guys will be in Manila? Because I am visiting Manila and I would love to drop by your office and say hi. And Cliff said, yes, come drop by. And I actually met their team in Manila for a day, and that was when I was so giddy. First of all, I didn't expect them to even say yes, right? So this is tip number 1. Never, ever, ever be afraid to ask. because the worst case scenario is that they say no. And my entire life, I have lived by that motto. I always ask for what I want, because the worst that they can say is no. But if you don't ask, the worst is that you will never get that opportunity. So I just asked. I messaged them and I said, can I get a job? Are you looking? Right? And obviously at that time they said no, but we will be later on. The second thing I can say is persevere. You really want something, you will do whatever it takes to get it. Because that is what I did. I was willing to wait 3 to 4 years to land my dream job because I knew it was exactly what I wanted. So I waited. So I freaking waited, and I kept, messaging every once in a while, asking on updates, celebrating their wins, sharing their content, and really just showing that I was 600% on board with Canva, because that is how I feel about their product. When I went to Manila, I met their team, I saw their new office, and it was incredible. Just going there, I knew, wow, this company is doing something so different. And when you're 16, I think I was 16 at the time, you're very impressionable. Someone just needs to show you a fancy office with a mural painting on the wall, and you're gonna say, I wanna work there. My visit in Manila basically planted in my head that I needed to get this job no matter what, because of the fact that their company was so open to receiving me and just so willing to say, yeah, hey, come by, why not? It was just so friendly. I've never met a company that was so friendly. And obviously now Canva is a little bit different because it's much bigger, but when they were small, it was incredible. That environment, that vibe, that feeling of working in a team of about 6 or 7 people is insane. After I met them in Manila, nothing happened. It was just to say hi. And then 8 months before my graduation, I reached out again to the recruiter and I told them, hi, it's me again. I will be graduating in 8 months and I would absolutely love to talk about working for you guys full time. What can I do to convince you that I need to work here? This is when they finally took me seriously and said, oh, okay, she's graduating now. All right, let's test her. And I was given a design challenge and I was scared shitless. I knew I needed to do whatever it took to get this job. And I was so scared because this is my first full-time job. I was 17. I've had co-ops and internships before, but this is different. This is you committing, in my head, your entire life to a company, and me moving abroad from Canada to the opposite end of the world, to Sydney, Australia, to work for this company. And I really, really wanted it. I really, really wanted it. And I said, what do I need to do to get this job? And I didn't have anything to compare it to. I've never done a design challenge like this before, so I didn't know what to do. So I did what I did best, which was I committed everything. I went in so hard and I gave it my all. And I gave in that design application. I remember on the call, I was talking to Cam, the design lead, and he said, oh, this design challenge is really simple. Don't spend more than 10 hours on it. I probably spent 30 or 40 hours because I knew I needed this job. It was everything my heart told me that I wanted. So I worked really, really hard. Give everything you have. Because if you didn't, you will regret it if you did not get the result that you wanted. My entire life, I am all in. I'm all or nothing. That's why it's some people don't understand the way I make decisions. It's because I am all in all the time. So when it came to getting this job, I was I don't even know what to compare it to. So all I know is I'm gonna put in my best effort and do everything it takes. So I'm gonna show you guys what it actually looked like my design challenge that I submitted to Canva when I was 17. And I'm looking back and I'm impressed. Insane. I didn't even know that I was capable of doing this. I put together a Envision walkthrough, which is a prototype that you can play with. I even created a PowerPoint presentation. I went above and beyond. And I can tell you that it was because of my attention to detail and me doing so much, it put me on top of any other candidate my age, and that is why I got the job. So after I submitted the design challenge, I got the offer. I got the offer for my dream job. I was the first person at that age to have gotten a job at Canva. I don't even know if they've never even had an intern program before or a junior program before. I was the first person in Sydney that they had hired in that manner because they were so small at that time. So it was insane. It was insane. They had another designer there at that time who was my age, but that was the only other person, and they were local to Australia. So I was the first person that they brought in overseas who was, I think I was 18 at that time, to work at Canva, and it was freaking life-changing. That is really how I got my job at Canva, and it came down to a few things. It was the fact that I didn't give up, and I gave it everything. Honestly, I gave it every single ounce of my body. I committed, and it was my energy. When we were jumping on calls, I was so proactive. Every single call is me just like buzzing and buzzing with energy because of how much I wanted to work there. And you know, your interviewer on the other side will see it. You might not be the smartest person, and you might not know everything. That's fine. As long as you're coachable and teachable, that's all that matters. Like, it's so hard to hire someone with an ego because it means that you can't teach them or train them. If you want to get hired and if you want to land your dream job, you need to be flexible, you need to be coachable, and you need to fucking love to learn. And that is exactly who I am. I am so committed to everything that I do, and I always want to be a better version of myself. And that is what came across during my interview with Canva, is I might not know everything now, but I'm an absolute sponge and I want you to teach me everything. Honestly, it was my time at Canva that taught me a lot about what it means to be a great product designer, and that is communication and iterating and adapting. I owe a lot of who I am today as a product designer to the team at Canva and how they trained me to operate at my best. You have to be able to overcome so much. You really need to look fear in the eye and every single limiting belief that you have that you can't have something, and tell them to go away. Because if I had told myself when I was 16 that I was too young, I was not qualified, I wasn't good enough, I would have never gotten that job at Canva, because that is not what most employers look for. What people are looking for are determined people who will go out of their way to do great work, because it means that you are proactive, you are a go-getter. So many good qualities about you if you're able to act like that. I just really wanted to share this message that if you've ever in your life told yourself that something is not yours, that you're not good enough, you're too new, that is bullshit. I was 16, I landed my dream job at Canva, one of the biggest design companies in the world, all because I decided to ask. I asked for it, I worked my ass off for it, and I showed up when I had to show up. Every day I look back at that, and honestly, that was the turning point in my life, was when I got that job. So many great things have, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. So many great things have come out of Canva, and so many lessons that I've learned have come from Canva. And if it wasn't for me believing in myself and putting in those hours and just backing myself up 100%, I would not be in front of you guys today talking about this, sharing all this, because I would have never found that confidence. And all I want to share today is that you need to believe in yourself 100%, and you always need to tell yourself that it's yours, because if you have a moment of doubt, then you're already planting seeds that you're going to fail. So when it comes to your business, when it comes to everything you do, you need to tell yourself that it's gonna work. The reason I show up on camera every single day is because I know if I put in this effort, I will see the rewards like months from now, years from now. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you need to go and do what's hard. You need to do what is uncomfortable. You need to do what you hate, and you need to do what everybody else is not doing to see the results that you want. So that's it. Fuck, Canva changed my life, and it's all because I believed in myself and I pushed myself and I got that job. That is why I'm here today. I really want to show you guys the design challenge that I had, because it is incredible the amount of effort I put into it. I think what I'll do is I'm going to create another video oh my goodness. I'm gonna create another video to walk through like how to prepare for a product design interview, or like how to think like a product designer, so that, because it's very, very applicable to, even if you're watching and you're a business owner, this is extremely applicable to you and the way that you build a business. And it's all based around how to create, like how to spec out the right requirements and how to iterate and do A/B testing. Yeah, so honestly, Mel, Cliff, Cam, if you guys ever see this video, all I want to say is how grateful I am that you took a chance on me and said yes to me when I was 16, because now, like 10 years later, here I am, just absolutely in love with design. And yeah, everything started from that moment. So this is a different video today, guys. I hope you appreciated that. I'm sorry I got a little bit emotional. It's just, yeah, I just really, really believe in going all in, and that you can have whatever the hell you want. It's yours. As long as you work for it, it's yours. And if you believe that it's yours, it will be yours. Just be patient. So if you want to see more design tips, you can always follow along on my channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
I love you like la la